Hello and welcome from Oulton Park in Cheshire as we return to the UK for round 5 of the VBTCR Championship, setting the former country estate on Park's sweeping contours and picturesque setting have ensured it's one of England's most popular racetracks, almost for its very first laps in the 1950s. During World War II, the land was taken over by the military, and it was the Mid-Cheshire Motor Club that realised they had a much more interesting potential plot right on their doorstep compared to the circuits emerging on former RAF bases such as Silverstone, Goodwood, Snetterton and Thruxton. I'm Tim Cox, coming to you from the VBTCR Broadcast Centre with Shane Dunn alongside me on production. Last time out we visited Oulton Park with Flatton continued. This qualifying making it 3 poles in a row and winning race 1 to make it 3 victories for the season, but race 2, Mould bagged his first victory of the season to become our 6th different winner. Let's see what's done to the standings. Flatton slat on top with Mould closing right up, but not far behind. It's getting really tight at the top there. But don't just drive it. Jack John's in 6th place. We've seen really consistent performances from him all season. I'm sure it won't be long before we see him top step at the podium. Being further down the championship, it just gets tighter and tighter the further down you go. Bit of a gap emerging between Geraghty and Jones in 16th and 17th. That's where it bunches up all over again. Holland in 18th, former race winner. Hagen's going to be one to watch out for. Neil Simpson might be a bit disappointed with 22nd, but there's still plenty of the championship to go. I'll expect to see him climb up, but what about the newcomers? Well, we've got quite a few for you today. So it's going to be interesting to see how those guys get on. As we head for qualifying now. What happened? Well, Flatton came out on top to make it 4 poles in a row. And it's the same front row we've had for the previous 2 rounds, with Harris alongside for company. Assert and Ems on the second row. Newcomer Boll is a newcomer alongside him. It's Anderson. Mould is in 7th with Sabula for company. Hagen and Gibson rounding out the top 10. Gibson, another of the new drivers. We've got Ben Denyer in 11th. And Anholmway, the fellow Brit, in 12th. Jack John starts in 13th with Scott Malcolm for company. Christopher Smith is on the 15th with Jack Newell alongside him. Peter Jones, the Welshman, the series organiser Shane Dunn with him for company, with Empingham and another newcomer, Duncan Murray, in rounding out your top 20. Then we've got James Birch and Fraser Geraghty, Derek Calver and Alfie McGarity in 23rd and 24th places. Moving further down the grid, the last couple of rows, it's Dan Thornton with William Martin for company. Now on the last row, it's John Johnson with Tom Holland alongside. Can't wait for race 1. Let's head trackside and get straight into the action, because here we go. And we're away here at Oulton already. A great start from Flatton, and Harris coming along for the ride. Really getting away from the impulse drivers behind. You can see all 3 of them there in that blue, black and white livery. However, they've got Matt Borganson really mixing things up, and likewise Dan Mould's in there scrapping with them as you see Hagen and Sabula jinxing and dueling it out there on the run down into Cascades. Everyone just managing to get through okay as Mould and Anderson go side by side on the run into Island Bend, but Mould's already ahead there. Great start by him. As we see Flatton and Harris just starting to create a bit of gap. We've had a spinner somewhere. No, we have. It's newcomer to the series for Impulse Racing. The German, Boll. He's lost it then at Shallow Hills Corner. A bit of Jack Johns just shoving Christopher Smith out wide there to come through Britain's for the first time. Getting away relatively clearly, other than Boll there. As Mould now having to defend from Anderson. So they come round Knickerbrook. Mould using all of the second, a bit more bouncing across the grass there. Really tight on the run now through Watertower to Druids. This tough double right-hander. And Anderson be looking to get the better run off the corner and using all the track and some more. It's his turn to use the grass as Mould goes defensive to the inside there. They come hard onto the brakes. Into Lodge corner and all. Mould gets a bump from behind from Anderson there. Anderson clearly getting a better run out the corner. But after one lap completed, Flarton leads with Harris second. Assert is third. M's fourth. Mould, Anderson behind him. Hagen, Sabula, newcomer Gibson is in ninth with Denya rounding out your top 10 as we see Anderson on the attack again, turning up the pressure to maximum level on Mould as Jan Bol begins his recovery drive through the field and seeing Sadie Dunn just slipping up the inside of Jack Newell there. Getting the move done. We look back from Dunn now. You can see Newell and Malcolm right behind. But what can Jan Bol do? Let's maybe slot the car up the inside into Shell Oils. Now they all remain in single file fashion. Another short run to Britons. And oh, Malcolm just out onto the grass there. Lost any time. Ball not able to capitalise at all. As they bounce across the curbs. Jack Newell heads out and he's safe for now. But with Malcolm, the run he's got out the corner and Ball looming behind. Oh no! Newcomer Murray, he's had an incident in Britain's there and the front end. That TCR is looking very, very dented. Is he caught the tyre barrier? Maybe. Oh no! It was Birch who had the contact. And Murray, an innocent bystander, nowhere to go. Both of them surely going to be heading to the pits after that. As we just see. Oh no! Holland hits the wall there and she allows Murray through. Not too sure how Tom Holland managed to come off there. He headed off to the left hand side. Just misjudging maybe the entrance there to Druids. As we see Murray having another bit of an incident there. Down into Lodge. And he's going to be really hampered. That slow exit off the corner. Look, everyone's queuing up, trying to get past him. Martin, Jones, Johnson just... Jones just getting past Martin there. Johnson's at the back of this little group. And Duncan Murray lives to fight another day. Overtake couldn't have come at a sooner time for him, but out in front right now. Flarton leads from Harris still, but only 3 tenths. Separating the Scandinavian and the Brit. What can Assert do to close up onto the back of them? He's got his teammate Ems for company. Heading down the field. His action all the way through with Malcolm now trying to launch an attack on Newell. Can he get it done down into Knickerbrook? Not a traditional overtaking place because you want to carry as much momentum up the hill as possible. And the last thing you want to be doing is losing that bit of momentum, because when you've got someone right behind you, like Bol, you know you could be in trouble. So come round Druids. It's just a case of who blinks first. Bol heads to the inside, just trying to make them all look into their mirrors at what he's doing, in the hope that they'll make a mistake and he'll be able to pick up a place. Right now, you head a bit further up the fields. The battle for 7th between Sabula and Hagen. Hagen clawing all over the rear wing of Sabula right now. Hagen be hoping to get the best exit off the corner as possible. This long drag through Lakeside. Come round Island Bend now. They're going to come hard onto the brakes, but everyone just looking to get a move done on Jack Newell. Yeah, he's managed to get it done ahead of Island Bend. But now he's going to have to defend that inside line to make sure Newell doesn't come past. But just ahead of him, Bol is still trying to find his way past Malcolm to head up into 15th place. Bol on the recovery drive after that spin, and almost Anderson giving Mould the bump draft there. Down through Hilltop. So come round Knickerbrook and head up the hill. Past the water tower. Now through Druids and Anderson. No, he's just trying to size up Mould right now. Prodding and probing the back end of Mould to find a way place. Mould goes to defensive up the inside to Lodge. Anderson going to be looking for the switchback. Can he get the move done? Mould just trying to cover him off, just trying to kill off any sort of momentum the Masborg Anderson is currently having. And Mould currently putting in the sort of defensive masterclass that we saw from Jack Johns last time out at Oran Park. He's going to need to keep that up if he wants to keep Anderson at bay. Has got Malcolm there, not able to keep Bol at bay. As he progresses, see Malcolm not overly impressed by that. The flash of the lights as they came out of Old Hall down the avenue. Heading round Cascades. Bol just looking to pick his way through the field up to 14. Shea Dunn is his next victim. Can he make a move on him? We'll find out soon, I'm sure. So we just head back out to this battle for the lead. And these two need to be careful because Assert is far behind them. Likewise, Ems as well. There's a battle for our top two. Could easily become a four-way battle. These two drivers know that certain M's are teammates. As we see Flarton just run wide there. Is this Harris's chance? He's lucky. He's using all the trackers some more. They're out on the grass. It's Damien Harris as they now come through. Druids. What can he do? It's so close between these two. Assert now he's taken 3 attempts out of them. Through they were battling there. And Harris locked on to the bumper of Flarton. As they come through Deer Leap and across the start-finish line. It's going to be the last late breakers into Old Hall. They remain as they are. But they need to work together if they want to pull away from a certain M's who are closing in on them. But Harris is having none of it. He's trying to find way past Flarton. Trying to get up the inside of Cascades there. There was never going to be any room there, hence why he backed out of it a little bit. And right now, your money has to be on Harris. Masborg Janssen still trying to find a way past Mould to get up into 5th place. These two will be seeing that Ems is getting away from them in front of them. And they'll want to be joining in for that battle to make it a 6-way fight for the lead. Flarton just trying to get away from the clutches of Harris, and Assert has managed to assert his dominance in this battle, and he has taken an extra 10th out of these two. If they are not careful in the next lap or so, he is going to be all over the back of these two guys. They are coming up to the James Birch is just ahead of them, looking to clear him quickly and play a part in this story. Harris bumps it on the curbs. The exit of Druids. Down to Lodge, and he's headed to the inside. Can he get the move done on the inside? No, he can't. But that's brought Assert right into play now. And Ems isn't too far behind him either. And we're now up to a 3-way battle for the lead. We could feel it almost coming where Flarton and Harris were battling it out. Assert was just gradually taking a 10th here, a 10th there out of these two. We see Garrity just slipping it up the inside of Crowther there. Maybe a bit of team orders coming in for an Insignia Racing there. Down into Lodge Corner. Garrity now looking to try and close the gap up to Jack Newell, who's ahead of them in 17th place. Crowther just getting a little bit wide there. Unsettled out of Old Hall. Heading back to this battle to lead. Can hardly take our eyes off it. It's Flarton looking for another victory this season, but he's going to have his work cut out. Now only a second away from Birch, who is they're coming up to lap. That's where it's going to get a little bit tricky. Could see some winners and losers out of that. There's Jones now trying to find his way past Thornton. Could this be the run down into Britain's? Phil Jones is just so Thornton just got this one covered off. This is where Jones needs to get the good exit out of Britain's. Cross hilltop. Can he get to that inside line? He can't quite get alongside enough. Or can he? Here he comes. Down into Knickerbrook. Can he get the move done up the inside? They go side by side through Knickerbrook, where Thornton is able to carry that extra speed through the corner. He holds on to the place for now. But Jack Newell's fallen right back. And now into the clutches of Geraghty and Crowther. He's taken some 4 seconds out of Newell on this lap. Surely it's going to have been an issue there for Newell to drop so much time. He wasn't far behind Empringham, who's in 16th, just ahead of these guys. And Geraghty really turning up the pressure now to 100 as he tries to pick his way past Newell. They head down to Cascades. Swooping left-hander. If you don't get it right, you lose so much speed that you just carry along Lakeside then. But these two just can't leave each other alone. Anderson has just been locked to the bumper of mould since the start of the race some 12 minutes ago. And right now your order here, just over half race distance completed. Your top 10's Blarton from Harris. Assert holding on to that last place on the podium with Ems just behind. Mould defending from Anderson right now. Can he continue for the rest of the race? Then got Sabula, Hagen, Gibson and Denyer rounding out your top 10. As we see Dunn coming under a bit of pressure here from Scott Malcolm. Really dropped off the back of Jan Bol, who's managed to claw his way back up to 13th place. As he chases down Johns now. It's a little bit further down than we've seen him in the last couple of races. Had an absolute stellar performance last time out at Oran Park. Heading back out to the lead. Through Old Hall, down the avenue to Denton's and then immediately Cascades hard onto the brakes. It's Blarton. Malcolm just still trying to find his way past Dunn. Dunn just holding on. The way Malcolm is driving, I feel it's only time before Dunn succumbs to Malcolm. Finds his way past, but with 6 minutes to go, he's starting to run out of a bit of time here, Malcolm. As we look back from Dunn, see just how close Malcolm's getting. He's going to take a big lunge. Down into Knickerbrook or somewhere like that. So they come out of Shalloyles. Short run down to Britain's. You see Malcolm just moving out to the left hand side there, just trying to do his best to distract Dunn. And all just out onto the grass a little bit there, Malcolm. That's going to kill off his momentum. Momentum, Flarton just he's carrying all the momentum coming into this round. Harris yet to take a victory this season, but you feel he needs to be taking the fight to Flarton. It is only time before he manages to get a race victory. But don't discredit Assert behind them. We've seen he's got pedigree. We're back in round 1 in Donington for Impulse. Ems right now he's just dropping off the back of this lead group. Able to come along with Assert. He was able to close up, but back to these two. What can we say? Oh no, it's Jan Bol. He's into the pits. Oh, it's after he plucked his way, picking people off left, right and centre. That looks like a drive-through penalty. There we go for track limits. Jan Bol undoing all of his hard work. And I believe he's now down lower. And after his incident, we see another newcomer, Murray, just coming past him there. Bol getting all the way up to 13th place. That drive-through is now down 10 places, back down to 23rd. Will help him potentially. But the next race is a reverse grid. So the full grid gets reversed. So that could well play into Bol's hands. As we look back from Flarton with Harris, unable to make the move so far. It's 3.5 minutes left here in race 1 at Oulton. Flarton starting to feel more and more confident as Harris closing well right up to the back and some more almost of Flarton. They're seeming happy right now to sit behind these guys and let them duel it out. I hope that maybe he can pick off the both of them in one foul swoop. If they have some sort of coming together. Ems has got to be disappointed that he hasn't been able to stick with this and get himself in and around these guys. As they come through cascades, all matching each other for pace. Talking to match each other for pace, these two still inseparable for 17 minutes. Mould and Anderson, but they've been incredibly close to one another. You see Sabula not far behind them. It's relatively unchanged in your top 10. 2.5 minutes left of race 1. As Garrity looks to mount an attack on Newell. Been a little bit in the wars and maybe a little bit disappointed by proceedings so far. See that earlier incident dropping him right off the back of Emperor and into the clutches of Garrity. Insignia red driver now trying to get up another place where it didn't look possible earlier in the race, but now stands with a chance of getting up into 16th place. So he looks to have got a better run out of Britain, so they come across Hilltop. See Garrity heading to the inside. They're trying to set up a move into Knickerbrook ahead of time, trying to move Newell around to his liking so he can get the move done. So come up over the top of Clay Hill, round Druids. It's going to be a big lunge from Garrity down into Lodge Corner, the last turn. He wants to get the move done, but he's going to be a bit too far back. Talking of being too far back, these two have certainly not been far back from one another the whole race long. But where they've been scrapping away, it's really allowed Sabula to close right up onto the back of them. The same way with this battle, their Cert has managed to close right up onto the back of Flarton and Harris. Flarton just holding on right now. Same way Mould has been doing, but Sabula just trying to now find his way past Anderson. He's stuck in the middle of this train and wants to make a move on Mould, but knows that's going to leave him vulnerable to Sabula. So we see Flarton just trying to take the defensive line, but here comes Harris. No, he just backs out of it a little bit. So happy to remain behind these two as they bounce across the curbs down into the last lap here in race 1. Not long left now for Flarton to hold on. Harris is fast running out of time. He's only got a couple of corners left. One of them being Dearly, but that's only really a kink. It's going to take a big lunge down into Lodge Corner. And here he comes, hard onto the brakes. And there's contact between them. Flarton drifts out wide and Cert moves up a place as well. And Flarton is going to be really, really cheesed off with that one as Harris takes his first victory of the season here in race 1 at round 5 at Oulton. Cert comes home second, Flarton has to settle for third. After contact, and Mould just holding off Anderson there for the whole race. Wow. Let's bring you in with the Class 5 results here. So Harris taking the win. Cert second, Flarton rounding out your podium in race 1. Chris Ems finishing 4th for Impulse, and Dan Mould holding on to the whole race against Matsport Anderson, TC Motorsport. With Sabula closing up right at the end, but the Polish driver unable to make the move. Only 4 attempts separating those 3 drivers. Harkins 8th, Gibson 9th, Denya rounding out your top 10, Holloway 11th, Jack Johns was 12th with Shane Dunn 13th, Scott Malcolm to find his way past Dunn. He finished in 14th, Emprium 15th, Jack Newell so dropping off the back of Emprium. Must have had some sort of spin, we didn't catch it on camera. And fell into the clutches of Garrity, but Garrity unable to find his way past. We'll have to stick with 17th. Crowther, Jones and McGarrity rounding out the top 20 with Thornton Boll, who'd be disappointed by that one, coming home 22nd, but it's going to aid him with this reverse grid. It's coming up very shortly now. In the intermission, let's give you a bit of an interesting fact. Now, corner names there, normally given logical names. So, around Oulton, we have Hislops, which is named after Superbike Championship Steve Hislops. Lodge is named after the original gatehouse and lodge, which still stands to this day. Knickerbrook, that's a bit of an interesting one now. Shortly before the circuit was created, a local explosives and demolition expert by the name of Blaster Bates was called in to remove 3 beech trees near to the area where the corner sits. After the 3rd explosion, a couple was seen fleeing in some disarray from the scene. Closer inspection found a pair of ladies' underwear floating in the brook. Stuck for a name for the corner, circuit organisers subsequently heard of the tale, and so Knickerbrook was born. Nice, interesting fact for you there. And we head now to race 2. Let's see if we're going. We've got James Birch on pole. Let's get ready. Oh, not the best start by Birch there at all. He's been absolutely swamped by the field, and oh no, there's contact here, absolutely everywhere. Cars everywhere. This has to be the worst start to a touring car race I have ever seen, with cars scattered everywhere across the start-finish line there, and we've had some big names involved in that. Birch from pole is headed to the pits, and he's going to feel good from that, but all while that's mayhem has ensued on the start-finish line. Smith and Boll have emerged in 1st and 2nd, and Boll, after redemption after race 1, looking to pick his way through the field and come up with that 1st place. So you see Garrity there. Just got Jack Newell behind him. Anderson as well. He's managed to pick up a few places. He's up to 9th place. One of the big winners after that mayhem. Daniel's 11th. Larson, another driver, really able to pick his way through. Likewise with Mould coming through here with him. They're 13th and 14th and all over the back of one another as there's nearly contact between them as well. Heading back to this, up to further up the field as McGarity versus Garrity. It's going to get tricky for these two similar named drivers. They're dueling it out with Newell behind, trying to run it on the grass there to find a way past Anderson, stuck in the middle of all of this. And he knows he's quicker than McGarity and Garrity. He doesn't want to spend the whole race tucked up behind another driver as Anderson heads to the inside. Can he get a 2-for-1 deal here? And he has contact there with Garrity as well. So McGarity it was. Oh no, who's had contact with people further down the field. I think Assert was one of them. As he tumbles down the order, I think Sabula was another driver caught up in that. As Boll has managed to there slip it up the inside through Denton's past Smith. And the German will be very happy with that one. So we'll see Assert now trying to find a way past Sabula and Mould just ahead of them. The drivers that we lost from that. Just trying to have a little look down the field. Race winner, Flarton, I think. He's dropped right off. As we see, all kicking off here in the mid-pack. Mould now on the attack rather than trying to pull off a defensive job like he had to do for the whole of race 1. As he tries to find his way past Sabula. Closed up to himself and Anderson, but Anderson's really been able to pick his way through the field. And Shane Dunn becomes the incumbent that's holding everyone up with Sabula, Mould and Assert behind him, but just in front, Denya and Newell duking it out there. I'm sure he came out ahead in that one. So see Assert, he's managed to get past Mould out of Knickerbrook. So close, and you feel that these lot are going to be trading places throughout the whole of the race. As we see Hagen, he's got Mould behind him, but he's going to be a bit too far back. But Hagen, he's getting all a bit close. Lots of banging doors going on here. As we see Ambringham there versus Ems. Ems managing to hold on to it, but they're going to go 3 wide across the start-finish line. They almost queue up to trying to go 4 wide here. As we see, that's Dunn getting absolutely swamped and losing 3 places there. As there's Ems out wide. What's that? Yeah, that is Ems, isn't it? And also, Ambringham, another one of the drivers. You see Ems and Ambringham banging doors massively there. What happened? They were all over the track trying to find their way past. Did Ems? He ran wide and Ambringham there. Oh, and Ems a bit of contact with the barrier on the outside of Old Hall Corner there. Sabula just finding his way past John Johnston, who'll be hoping for a bumper race in race 2 to pick up a lot of championship points. Oh, it's a certain really, you see the extra momentum he carried out of Britain's there, wasn't expecting Johnson to not take it as quick as him. So we see Newell and Mould dueling it out here, and Mould up another place to 12th now. Assert trying to find his way past Johnson. He's going to have the inside line if he holds on enough here into Druids. Johnson needs to be careful because Harkin's now having a go. So just between the trees, Harkin not able to get the move done. Johnson lives to fight another day. Going to run down to Lodge Corner. Can he keep hold of it? We'll find out shortly. So we see Garrity has got Denya and Sabula queuing up behind him. Here comes Denya. He's going to get up the inside, but can Sabula, he's followed Denya through and almost tries to have a little nick at Denya there as well. But Denya up into 6th place, and they'll be really happy with that one. As it stands, he'll be on to equal his best results so far this season. Will Ben Denya. Sabula behind him. Really close. He's getting moving. They've really dropped Garrity. He seems to have pulled out 8 attempts on him already after about 4 corners. CM's trying to fight his way back through the pack after running wide. He's got Mould ahead of him. Johnson starting to have everyone form a queue behind him. Johnson now needs to put in the sort of defensive masterclasses that we've seen from Mould in race 1. Jas Johnson the previous round, as Ems trying to slot it up the inside into Britain's there on Mould unsuccessfully. Mould just losing a bit of momentum because of that. Behind Johnson and then able to mount that attack onto Johnson, now having to go defensive to Ems. Ems heads up the inside into Knickerbrook. They still remain side by side coming up Clay Hill. Water Tower, but Ems, he's going to have that inside line. He bangs doors. They touch wheels between himself and Mould. What can Ambringham do? Can he look to pick a place off of Mould? He's got the better run. Here comes Ambringham. This looks to be a place taken from Mould up the inside into Lodge Corner. Mould's going to have to hope he gets the much better exit from that wider entry point than what Ambringham does, and try and fight and take the place back through Deer League. But just ahead of them, Johnson heavily under attack for an Ems. Chris Ems just backing out initially. And then Johnson just thinking about it twice, and Ambringham saying, thank you very much, I'll have a place as well. And Mould also, he's taking his ticket for the raffle and drawn first prize there. So he's up another place. And Johnson losing 3 places in many corners. He'll be gutted by that one. Denya now having to resist from Sabula. And Assert, we've seen strong performances from him so far this season. As I mentioned in the last race, without a win and since round 1 at Donington. For another one. So we see Anderson managing to get the move done into Knickerbrook there. Past Holland and Duncan Murray. What can he do? As he now comes alongside Holland on the run into Druids, and there we go. Holland just backing out of it there, allowing Murray through. And Anderson has really checked out from this group. He's already pulled a second on Murray. Holland, the big loser from that. As we see, is he going to be happy to sit behind Sabula and Denya? did in race 1. Remains to be seen. He seems to be looking a bit more aggressive. Talking of aggressive, here comes Mould on Fraser Geraghty. Needs to be careful of how much time he spends battling behind Geraghty as Mould going to get up the inside into Lodge corner. Do they touch? Nearly. Oh, maybe a little bit there. Geraghty getting unsettled midway through the corner, but Mould steams through and he's up another place. He's up into 11th. Now he'll be looking to pull away from Geraghty. See Johnson just happy to watch these two battle it out. What can Mould do to close up onto the back of Ron Eprium? To be fair, he's locked in a little bit of a space by himself. I'll definitely be hoping for a top 10 finish here in race 2. You see Danya. He's defended so well so far, but now it looks like Sabula's gonna get up the inside into Knickerbrook. Needs to be really careful because Assert is locked behind and Danya just electing to tuck in behind, but here comes Assert. Assert his dominance on this situation. What can he do? The answer is nothing for now as Danya just fends off the advances of Assert. But equally, Sabula not able to capitalise and not able to pull away, but he's going to see a lunge hit up the inside into Lodge corner. Assert thinks twice about it. Danya just lives to fight another day. He'll be praying to work with Assert to keep his way through, but after disappointing race 1, be gutted with that 3rd place after leading for the whole race. Flarton trying to find his way past Johnston. It's 13th. Hoping to clear it with the ease of which the likes of Mould did. Move up another place and then try and hunt down Geraghty. It's looking likely. He seems to have got a much better run out of Old Hall as they come down the avenue. And oh no! Was that a touch there? Oh no! And Johnson's gone out wide! It's into the barrier. That seemed like a touch there from Flarton. Let's ride on board with Flarton and find out. Yeah, there you go. There's the bang. And that is what it set John Johnson's car. And there was nothing he could do to try and save that one. And Johnson is going to be absolutely distraught by that after running so strongly. And he's gone to the pits. But out in front, Jan Bol making up for that mistake in race 1, which cost him so dearly. Leading by 4.5 seconds over Smith in 2nd. And just over half race distance completed so far. After all the chaos. So we see Flarton, that's up another place, that's past Geraghty, that's him up into 12th. Now looks to hunt down Mould, who's 1.8 seconds up the road. You can see him in front of him. Head back to the race start and you can see Birch just didn't get away like everyone else, and that's what caused the Constantine effect behind him. Birch would have been absolutely loving it starting on pole. Great hopefuls. We look back from Tom Holland. What happened from his point of view? You see, it's like Moses parting the seas there, and that's what got Holland up to 2nd place. Let's take a look back from Duncan Murray. The South African getaway. We got around the outside and he got bumped into the wall there. And managed to somehow not get turned around and ended up in 7th place. See, all from the background, Gibson hard on the anchors there, and he got turned around by, too sure who that was, just cars littered everywhere. Let's take a look from Damian Harris's point of view. He started right at the back of the grid after winning race 1. So just in front of him. Oh no, there was nothing he could do. Everyone had already stopped. It was coming at him a lot quicker. He arrived at the scene of the accident hard and fast. And that was it for him. Mould has been into the pits. I'm not sure what's caused that. And he's dropped all the way down to 19th place. Maybe a drive-through potentially for Mould. See Tom Holland now. Straight fight between himself and Sabula. Which we've just seen able to pick his way through the field. top 10 right now in race 2. Just over a third of the race to go. A bowl from Smith. Anderson rounding out your current podium for the moment. Murray 4th. Holland 5th. Sabula 6th. Assert, Denyer, Ems and Empringham rounding out your top 10. But here comes Sabula. Right on board with the pole. And he's got the move done on Holland there. Round the outside. Through Dentons and into Cascais. Take my hat off to you, sir. Absolutely spectacular. But here comes the sir. Holland's lost a whole bunch of time there. And this feeling that Holland would be easy pickings while he feels a bit vulnerable after losing that place to Sabula. He's not going to get it done here into Britain. It's not really an overtaking place. This is where his time is. So look at the... You can see the difference of the extra momentum that Assert was able to carry out of Britain's there. He's going to have his work to do. He's going to look to get the switch back on Holland. Can he get it done? Up the hill. No, he's had to tuck back in as we look back from Holland right now. And Assert's looming. Audi RS3 TCR. So they enter into the first part of Druids, then try and hook it up. There's the inside line for the second part. Holland's going to have to go defensive into Lodge if he wants to keep Assert at bay. Hold on to this place. So come hard onto the brakes. Assert just electing not to fight, but Denyer is close right up onto the back of these two. It's going to be interesting to see what he can do. Is he going to approach the tactics like Assert did in race 1 and sit back and just watch the action? Hope he can pick up some easy pickings. As we see this battle here. Joe Gibson is coming up to be lapped, and then we've got Shane Dunn in the middle. Jack Newell coming up behind. On for one of his better finishes here. A bit neutralised this battle, but up to his teammate Ryan Empringham. He's got Flarton right behind him as they come down into Shell Oils. Empringham's going to easily cover that one off. Just trying to take the swooping line in there to carry more momentum out the corner compared to Flarton, but Flarton, I don't know where he's found that momentum from. He's look at that. Taking the corner much more straight line compared to Empringham. And here comes Flarton. He's managed to get to the inside as well. And you feel this is going to be another place. And up inside the top 10 goes Flarton. For one of his lower finishes this season. It's starting nearer the back. Oh, at the back. Most of the second races of the evening. All season. He's been able to cut his way back through the field like the perennial hot knife through butter. Just seeing McGarrity coming under some attention here from Malcolm. This guy's already a lap down. Boll is out in front of them. Smith coming around to lap them behind. Flarton to pull away from Empringham now. He's pulled 7 attempts on him as we come inside the last 2.5 minutes here. Jack Johns as he's going up the inside of Newell. Newell lost a whole heap of time there. He wasn't far behind Dunn in 14th. Jack Johns up into 15th now. Drivers caught up in the melee at the start. With that one, but Boll is coming round. I think he's going to run out of time to lap 18th place. As we see Shane Dunn now, he's got Gibson just in front of him, but he's coming around to lap him. See Johnson moving across to the left hand side there, and in the process loses a place to Gibson, clearly not realising that he was fighting with him for position. Johnson's going to feel absolutely mortified. Early incident with Flarton. Looking so strong. See Joe Gibson in the middle of this. He's got ringside seats as Dan Thornton is the front of this train. Then Gibson, who's in 21st and lap down. And Shane Dunn, who's trying to do his best in the closing minutes here to close up onto the back of Thornton. But Gibson trying to find his way past Thornton right now to unlap himself. With nothing to gain out of it, you have to wonder, is this the best of ideas for Gibson? Thornton will definitely be thinking not, because this is going to drop him into the clutches of Dunn. He's not going to be happy about this at all, is Dan Thornton. So they come around Deer Leap onto the final lap. And Gibson absolutely swarming all over the back of Thornton right now as he tries to find a way past him to unlap himself. And Dunn is closing. He's closing hard. That gap is down to only 8 tenths behind Gibson. It's over a second. You see Gibson just trying to find a way past Thornton yet again. Thornton will be absolutely fuming right now. There you go. Gibson has managed to get ahead of him, but at the cost that Dunn is now only 3 tenths behind Thornton. And Thornton now looking from what was a comfortable position, looking very vulnerable. But after issues in race 1, Jan Bol comes home to take the victory in race 2. That makes him our 8th different winner of the season. Smith comes home in second. Anderson, after a frustrating race 1 behind Mould, finds it onto the podium. And just behind Holland, but I don't think he's going to be able to find his way past. No, Holland just holds on to 8th place across the line there. But wow, what a race. What a race. Well, your Class 5 results are Jan Bol taking his first race victory for the season. His opening round here at Oulton Park. Smith, he was in second. Anderson, another new driver, taking 3rd place in that remaining place on the podium. Duncan Murray, another new driver, he came home in 4th. Sabula 5th, Assert 6th. Bendenya, after battling hard, he came home 7th, with Holland coming home to 8th place, beating Ems by 2 tenths at the line. Flarton up to 10th from the back of the grid. Epringham 11th, Geraghty was 12th, and Thornton just holding off the advances of Dunn there for 14th. Jack Johns came home 15th. Jack Newell, wow, he came home 16th. An interesting fact for you, he qualified in 16th tonight. He finished race 1 in 16th, and he's finished race 2 in 16th. And that's not the first time he's done that. Newell did that back at round 2 in Brands Hatch, coming home 3 16ths there in a row. And they say lightning never strikes twice. Well, clearly does in the same place for Newell. And what's that done to the championship? Well, Flarton still in the lead, Assert up to 2nd, Mould demoted a place to 3rd. Shane Dunn is raised up to 4th, with Jack Johns and Smith, and Denya also promoted. Gilman not here this round, drops to 8th. Scott Malcolm and Newell up 4 places each. Geraghty up 5 places to 11th. This way it gets a bit more closer from that point onwards. James Birch would have been hoping for a bumper points haul from race 2, but after that first, well, not even first corner incident, start line incident, this actually ends up down 2 places. He's on 208. Michael Seal, good to see him back in the championship. He's in 16th and he's dropped a place. Kent drops 9 places, one of our biggest losers. But Jan Bol, after an impressive first race, he's up to 23rd already in front of Ryan Empringham. He is 24th. Wow. Let's take a look at what that has done to the championship standings for the teams. Well, Impulse, they lead the way with Luminous Racing 200 points behind, and a lot of work to do and a bit of luck coming their way if they want to take that victory in the championship. Spud Motorsport are not far behind them to 51 points. They're up a place. Likewise are Insignia and Team Maudie to 5th, with Ignium Motorsport dropping 3 places to 6th. Ignium Spark, they're down a place as well. It's the times for Ignium here at Oulton. Simply Digital are in 8th. Pulse Esports are 9th. Fiercely Forwards rounding out your top 10 teams standings. Now, at the start of the season, it was announced for round 7 that there would be a Joker round, and voting is now officially open for the choice of 4 tracks available as we head stateside. That's going to be one to watch out for. There's a video about it to follow the show. Now, how do we unpack today? Well, firstly, congratulations to Harris, who managed to take victory in race 1 and take his first victories for the season. As for the start of race 2, well, that really shook things up here, with so many drivers caught up in the start line incident. However, congratulations has to go to Bol for overcoming his spin in race 1 and to take victory in race 2 in what's been his first round in the championship, and great results to lots of our other new drivers as well. Murray had a great outing as well. But we will see you in 2 weeks' time as we head to Norfolk in the east of England for round 6 from Snetterton. From myself and Shane, goodbye.
This December, the Virtual British Touring Car Championship is heading stateside. Fans and drivers alike will get to vote which of these 4 amazing race circuits we'll see our pro drivers taking on in just a few weeks' time. Daytona Road Course, Lime Rock Park, Road America, and Laguna Seca. Voting is now open. Make sure you head over to VBTCR website to cast your vote before December 2nd.